Well, good morning, everybody. Well, in the chat room this morning, we had Jared that had some technical issues and wasn't able to join to do engineering the markets. So I pretended to be Jared and spouted some gobbledygook at our members just for a laugh or two. It seems that I'm also going to pretend to be Carlos today. Carlos has had literally a flood in his house. He shared a video with us, and it looks ugly, man. There's no sound in the room. No sound in the room? Can you guys hear us? Yes, you can hear. Okay. Seems to be Runner Hunter needs some help there. All right. Anyways, yeah, like he sent this video. His like ceiling collapsed. He just renovated that place. It is crazy. I feel bad for him, man. He had like tarps on top of his computer, and the floor was flooded. The kids' toys had like water in them. I don't know if he's going to be back this week. It could be ugly here for the rest of the week. So we're going to do our best to sort of cover for everybody that's not here and not able to make it, and give you the lay of the land. So, I guess we can start this morning. Hey, Peter, how's your day? My day is going great. How's yours? It's great. No, I won't do that. That's just going to get weird. I had a good night. Played some pickleball last night. The weather cooled off here. I'm a little nervous about that because it's been super, super hot for like a month. And then the weather cools off just before I'm about to go and jump in some lakes like for 3 days straight. So as long as the water temperature doesn't change, I suppose I should be okay. As I've been talking in the room the last couple of days, I'm starting to get ready, gathering all my gear. I'm woefully unprepared for this swimming trip, but I'm going to make it anyways. And Monday, you'll probably see me back all sore and hopefully successful anyways. Phase 2 of my year-long triathlon. Andrew climbs mountains. Apparently, it takes me an entire year to do a triathlon. So I did a bike ride, a 300-mile bike ride 300-kilometer bike ride that I was unprepared for earlier this year. Now I'm doing a big swim trip that I'm unprepared for. Hopefully, I'll be more prepared for the marathon that I will be doing in May. So I've got at least 8 months to train for that one. Okay. Let's take a look at the economic calendar. It is a remarkably slow day. At least the good news is it's a slow week, really, in the markets because we have very little that's happening. It's really a sort of a slow news week after the big, I can't even say big rate announcement last week because the rate announcement was zero. It was nothing. But the markets noticed have reacted, right? Very strong reaction on Monday. Yesterday, we had a little bit of recovery. I was sharing some information, by the way, by my cousin Brent, who happens to run a company called Spectrum Markets, and he's a currency trader. And he said, typically, we can expect this type of reaction when you have a big down day on a Monday. So Wednesday, typically you get I think it was like 1/3% growth in overall markets and then a 0.8% drop on Thursday. So we'll see if that happens. But anyways, from economic events for today, the only thing I have to tell you about really is the consumer credit that's happening at 3 p.m. That's it. There are no other economic announcements of note, really. There's always things, right? There's always T-bills being issued and oil futures, and there's a bunch of that stuff. But really, the only one that might potentially affect the market is his consumer credit, and it's not coming up to 3, which means we've got to focus on earnings. And that we actually do have a fair number of earnings. I got a lot to talk to you about there because we had a lot of earnings after the close yesterday, a bunch more this morning. Some real mixed pictures out there, though. So we're going to see what's moving and what's not. As you can see on the list here for this morning, we got Shopify and Disney, CVS, a whole bunch more. Last night after the close, we had Airbnb and Rivian and a bunch of others. So yeah, I'll talk about some of the highlights and we'll let you know what's happening. really, then, so let's turn to our gappers list. And I'm going to have to rely on our editing crew. Do I have the gappers list? Who has the gappers list? Me?
It's usually Carlos.
It's
So
me. All right, here we go.
you're going to have to
Then
share your screen.
trading terminal. Nah, 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 nah. All right, here we go. Let me just make it slightly bigger for you. We'll do this over here. All right. Here's my gappers list, and we'll see what's moving on the gappers list, and then I'll talk about the earnings that don't make the gappers. So, I have to actually show it to you. My bad. Here we go. Ta-da! I'm not used to having to change everything again. All right, so, and I can only show you my lovely mug or the charts. So we might look at charts a little more than me, because that's a little more interesting. Let's start with GTHX, which I should probably link these bad boys here, and then put this GTHX. Here we go. Wow, gapping up 66%, 8 million shares traded. So it's definitely got some volume here this morning. However, this GTHX is not one I've ever heard of. G1 Therapeutics, it's a biotech. It's not quite a low float with 42 million shares in the float, but it certainly looks like it's trading like one this morning, isn't it? It's an acquisition though, so that does not look that interesting. Let's see, cash at $7.15 a share. Wow, look how close the price has gone to that $7.15. It's within like 8 cents. That's interesting. All right, so not a good trading stock. We can just move on. I'm willing to bet the first couple here are not going to be that great. Pet IQ. Oh, this is another one of these pet companies. I gotta, they have all these companies out there that, you can do DNA testing for your pets, or specialty drugs for pets. Any of you, do you guys actually buy this stuff? I mean, my daughter's got a dog, and I love the dog, but it always makes me scratch my head when people are spending tens of thousands of dollars on their pets. I never quite understood that. Yeah, I don't. Apparently, yeah. Chris Young, I don't understand the DNA testing thing, but there was a Dragon's Den thing where the woman made, like, I don't know. She made her fortune anyways off this DNA testing, because the dragons. What is the U.S. Shark Tank, right? That's the U.S. equivalent. The Canadian, I think it's called the Dragon's Den. Same thing. She went on a Shark Tank and anyways tried to sell the business, and they didn't buy it. She later sold it to some large conglomerate for like a couple $100 million, and basically give the old middle finger to the Shark Tank people. So there you go. Anyways, Pet Q, apparently they've decided to stay independent and go public. Trading on the markets. They had earnings, which is why they're jumping up here. I can't imagine trading this. It's like I said, this is a 27 million share float. Never seen it on our list before. Look at this price action. Looks horrible, right? So not something that I'm going to be watching or trading, quite frankly. So, and I do not seem to have... Do I have pre-market data? Yes, I do. Okay. It's just that bad. All right. Let's move on. LUMN. All right. At least this one we've heard of before. It has been on our list. Lumen Technologies. It's got to be on here for earnings, but it's not. Not one of the ones that I was tracking, to be honest. No, it looks like they just secured $5 billion in new business. And of course, this is they've retooled themselves into an AI play. So we're going to talk about AI quite a bit this morning, because a lot of companies are moving on AI. And let me. Oh, this might be an awesome opportunity to give you guys a little rant. So let's get Peter in the cardigan. I got to get myself an actual cardigan. There I am. All right. AI. We are getting to the point here. So every one of these trends, right, goes through an almost identical path, right, in the markets. First, you hear about it, and it's really just a rumor. And then you start to see a couple of companies you've never heard of move on it. Then you get to the point where almost every company feels like they want to get part of the movement, right? And everybody's talking about AI. We've seen this so many times before, whether we're talking about cryptocurrency or we're talking about NFTs, or we go back into the cannabis or pot sector. You can go back further and further with all sorts of different technologies, but it all follows the same path. Where clearly AI is a bigger one, right? Because there's real technology behind it, sort of like crypto that lasted a little bit longer, right? And cybersecurity was another one. .com bubble, if you want to go back, a good 20 years. Steve from the Garden, that's another one. But they all follow the same trend. We are now in the trend where everybody's jumping on board. Everybody's talking AI, and stocks are certainly moving as a result of that. The next phase is for companies to start basically the analyst in the industry starts to say, so how exactly do we make money off of this? Now, some companies have made that switch, right? The semiconductor companies, obviously, they are making money off it, right? There's no questioning that. They are selling chips in record numbers to everybody else that is supposed to then figure out how to make money more directly off of AI. We've also got software companies that are building sort of AI intelligent software that are selling services and their software to other companies. They're also starting to figure out how to make money. Really, what's going to happen is soon we're going to have these companies that have to then figure out, when I've got AI embedded into my business, how can I actually demonstrate that's delivering outsized growth to my shareholders and to the markets over and above what I was doing in a regular fashion. Picture a fast food store, right? Or a fast food restaurant. If they say, well, we've embedded AI into our menu management process, or what are they going to replace some of their workers with robots? Is that going to be more efficient and effective? There's going to be hiccups and problems. But usually what happens is the market starts to say, usually, we don't see where that improved profit margin is coming from. And a lot of the high-flying AI stocks start to drop. Then what happens is everybody gets out of AI except for the core that are actually making money off of the front end of the business, and they typically have a continued business model, but at more bricks and mortar or standard valuations, so their values also come down. I mentioned all this to you because I feel like now we're at the stage where we're back 2 steps, where everybody's still talking AI, and the market is starting to say, where's the money? Right? Show me exactly where the money is going to be. But we're not there yet. It's probably another 6 months, another sort of 2 earnings cycles before that really starts to take off. And we probably have to get through a US election cycle first. Then people will get refocused on actual business values and how that affects the markets. But I want you guys to start thinking about that, especially if you're managing longer term portfolios, because AI is great right now. Play the hype. We can get lots of hype and build off of AI, like Lumen is doing this morning. Here's Lumen again. But I want you to start thinking about it. If you're looking at this for longer term, right? Something like Lumen, that look what the stock looks like on a daily, right? My prediction is that if we come back at this 6 months from now, this stock, which clearly had a drop over the last 3 years almost, is now getting this big pop back up. Is probably going to be sort of moving in the other direction, right? So just start to think about that. It is a hype cycle, Victor, as you're saying. I'm not telling you anything new, right? This is well established within the markets, but it's actually important to recognize how often it gets forgotten. And we sort of forget it and we relearn it every time we get one of these new hot technologies. So if you keep that in mind as a trader, it can actually help make you profitable, because you can take advantage of this not only on the way up, but on the way back down, right? I'm short bias. I love the downside of things. So we can play both sides of it. And if the more aware we are of this, the better we can position ourselves to take advantage of it. So there you go. There's my little, not so much of a rant, but perhaps a warning for you on AI, because we're going to be talking about AI because it's earnings, right? So we got a bunch of earnings that are all about AI, and let's maybe we move to the next one. Upstart. It was the next one on my list here. Upstart is another one of these plays that they had a good quarter. They beat their numbers. And they had some good guidance. Interestingly, they they are also talking about AI, which is helping drive a lot of their guidance and why their business driven solutions are doing better. There's more, well, actually, so Upstart is gapping up a little bit this morning. Well, not a little bit, 24%. I mean, look where it closed yesterday, right down here at about 23.80, I think was yesterday. Yeah, 23.87 was yesterday's close. We're $30 basically right now. So, again, the AI hype cycle is in full effect. Eventually, people will start asking exactly, like, show me where that continued revenue stream and improved margins are coming from. That's going to be a challenge for a lot of companies. Companies like perhaps Shopify, next one on our list, right? Shopify also had earnings this morning. In this case, once again beat their numbers, had a good quarter. They once again credited their growth to AI. Shopify, if you understand Shopify's business model, they call their AI engine their unified commerce operating system. So basically what they're trying to say is outsource more of your sort of front end business operations to the Shopify platform, and you run your store, you sell your merchandise, you do whatever. We'll basically run all the commerce part of it, right? We'll sell the stuff for you, manage your revenue intake, et cetera, et cetera. They can do that through this so-called unified commerce operating system. Anybody here run a small business and use Shopify? I'd be interested to know if you do use Shopify and how well it works. They're claiming great results, and hey, they beat their numbers. They're expecting significant growth actually out of it. They're predicting 20. They had 21% growth in revenue quarter over quarter, and they're expecting that growth. They say that the next quarter growth is going to grow another 20.8%. So that's pretty good. I mean, Shopify is not a small business these days. And Jesse here is saying that they uses Shopify. All right, so a couple people using Shopify. I trying to stay out of that stuff, but all right. So there you go. It is well in use. I like Shopify this morning. It can trade okay. It can be a little dangerous. The spread can get high at times. Right now we're looking at a 15-cent spread, but it's pre-market, so that doesn't really tell you much of anything. But Shopify could be good. I mean, we see about 1.7 million shares traded. It can get consistent order flow, so that's why I don't mind it. I might put it on a list to watch. That and Upstart. So of what I've told you so far, those are the two that I would watch. All right, let's move on to the next one on our list. ACMR ACM Research.
Hey, Peter.
Oh, I hate it when my computer goes blank. That would suck. Then you guys would have nobody to talk to. All right, so it looks like they had earnings this morning. Was this on my earnings track? Not one that I was following. Here it is. Yeah, beat top and bottom line. Strong earnings. Volume's very low, though. I'm not even sure how it made my list. 174,000 shares, so it should be off the bottom of the list. All right, let's let me just go down here. This is not Google, GOGL. It always confuses me. That is not Google. We got a bunch of tickers I don't recognize. Wow, there's a lot of stuff on the Gap Up list. I see Iron Hood, Robinhood. All right, let's what is Iran doing? Up 2.3%, low volume. How about Bitcoin? What are Bitcoin prices doing this morning? Let's take a look at Bitcoin prices. I can see, let's look at the daily chart here. After that big drop over the weekend, we did have a little bit of a pullback up here, right? Monday, we sort of came from the lows, gapping down near 50,000, 51,000. We're now up at about 57,000. Really, we haven't got recovery until we're sort of into this gap, which means we've got to get up over, well, almost 58.5 to 59,000 up through the 60s. So Bitcoin is still, I would say, struggling. And you notice this is an area that had consolidation back at the beginning of July. Oh, I got to show you the chart. You're just looking at me. Sorry, my bad. See, I'm sorry, guys. See, I only have one screen to share with you. I keep forgetting. All right, so here we go. Bitcoin, like I was saying, you can see the price is 57,000. Notice there's a gap here that happened over the weekend, and we have this area of consolidation that happened at the beginning of July. So that area of consolidation is one that where you want to show price action. I'm going to try and open my pin so I can actually draw on things. Hopefully it doesn't cause problems. There it is. All right. So here we go. This is the area of consolidation that I'm watching. We're sort of stuck in that range until we break up above that, which will put us in this gap area, right? I think that Bitcoin prices are going to be challenged, and typically only does that overnight. So we'll have to watch that. So in the meantime, we're probably going to see muted price action from things like Iran that I've got up here on this, that I had on the screen a second ago, that we were looking at, Coin, Mara, all those typical Clear Spark, all those typical Bitcoin miner type plays. All right, I'm going through the list, seeing if there's anything I like here. There's a lot of Microsoft is on the list. That's interesting. Let's check out. I saw Hood, not one that I was tracking this morning. Let's see what Robinhood is doing. I always find it ironic, once again, that these trading, the stocks that are traders don't trade well. But looks like they had earnings. That's why they're up here. Wow, they actually had a very good quarter. Robinhood has gotten into crypto as well. Speaking of that, and they're taking advantage. Their crypto market has grown substantially, especially as the meme stocks have fallen off. That's where they were making a lot of money off of the meme stocks, of course. So we all know that, right? From the GMEs and the AMCs of the world. We don't have a new meme stock. We haven't talked memes in a while, so these companies like Robinhood that rely on them have to sort of change their model, right? They have to open new markets. So that's what they're done. All right. So nothing terribly interesting on Robinhood. If you look at an intraday chart, look at the price action, right? Pretty muted, a little less than 500,000 shares. So it's not that great this morning. Down on my list here on the gap up, I see Nvidia. It's up just over 2%. Man, it has been trading pre-market volume, hasn't it? Like yesterday, we saw big pre-market volume. Even today, 10 million shares traded. That's a lot of volume pre-market. And I like Nvidia. Guys, I have a confession to make. You all know that I'm a long-term AMD trader, and AMD and I have a tight relationship. But I've been seeing other stocks, and while we agreed to an open relationship, it can be tough sometimes, right? Because even though you say that, you get emotionally tied. And, sometimes you just have to acknowledge that it's not working for you and you need something new in your life. And I've been trading Nvidia quite a bit. So AMD, I'm sorry. I'm sorry you had to hear this publicly, but it's not over. I'd still like to think we can work it out, but I need more from you. I need more for this relationship to work. Meanwhile, Nvidia is here in my life. There you go. That's my confession. We're on the couch there this morning. All right, being a little more serious, Nvidia is moving. It is really, really moving, and really doing. It doesn't even need a catalyst. Now, that being said, guys, I had a great trade on AMD into the close yesterday. It was my friend in my 1 to 10. I've got a signature 1 to 10 trade that I took into the close yesterday. And for those of you that, look, here's, let's see here. I'll give you a snippet of my my journal. I didn't really finish my journal properly, but hold on a sec. There. Some of the charts from my my journal is AMD. I trade AMD at 10 minutes into the close every day, and you can see I went short, right, on my little very short-term pop, and look at the partials I got all the way down. Excellent risk to reward on this trade. Great return, right? They're not fancy trades. They're the same trade every time I take them, and I watch for them every day. but I don't get to take them every day. And we traded that live in the Bear Bull Trading chat room yesterday. So I had a lot of people asking me, so explain that again. If you're an elite member, there is videos that explain the strategy, why it works, what we're looking for, and how you can trade it. So it's not over, like I said, with AMD. I just need more, right? We can't just trade the close together. We need to do more during the day. And Nvidia's been filling that bill. It's been great off the open. It's great trading. I didn't see anything new on it. I'll just check the news here very quickly just to make sure. But all the same, all Nvidia, AI, Nvidia. Where is it sitting, by the way, in market cap? $2.5 trillion. So they've fallen well out of the $3 trillion club. So yeah, they've got to sort of get back up there, but good recovery. Look at the daily, from where we were down here opening Monday at just over $90 to get back to 106. I mean, Nvidia's doing not bad. I think it's okay. So another one that's going to be on my list. Microsoft, last one I'm going to pick off the gap up list here. Microsoft, not doing huge volume this morning, really. Microsoft, yeah. Okay, I didn't realize this. I'm just checking the news this morning. Apparently, maybe it's moving here because Microsoft joined with CrowdStrike. Delta was slinging mud everywhere, right? Trying to blame everybody else for their canceled flights. And I get it. They didn't have a planned outage, but as a company, you still need to be responsible for the systems and services that you have in place. And that's just the way it goes. I don't have a lot of sympathy for Delta myself, but they were blaming CrowdStrike for the ongoing issues. And there's no question that their people caused the initial problem, but it's the way things go. So apparently Microsoft joined with CrowdStrike and sort of defending, I guess, what occurred after the initial outage, saying that Delta's comments were incomplete, false, misleading, and damaging to both Microsoft and CrowdStrike and their business reputations. So there you go. It's war of words happening. All right, what else do we have on the gap up list that I wanted to share with you? We already talked about Upstart. We talked about Shopify. Let's talk about Reddit. Reddit was another one with earnings that was gapping up a little bit earlier. No, they're gapping just down. So obviously, yeah, they were up when I was looking at them earlier this morning. They're just down. They did have earnings. Everything was good there on the Reddit side. They beat their numbers in the quarter and increased their guidance. Let's show you that chart. There it is. So there's Reddit just gapping just below previous day close here. So they're just red, although they were up earlier this morning. The other one that was not oddly, but that was green was Disney. And I noticed Disney has now dropped. Earlier this morning, Disney was green. It's red now as well. You can see that initial drop after earnings were announced earlier this morning. But they actually had pretty good news. Disney beat their numbers in the quarter. They had a good quarter. And for the first time ever, the aggregated Disney streaming services actually made money. So for Disney, they've got the Disney Plus we're familiar with. They've got Hulu. They got ESPN Plus. I guess these are their online, their main online names. And in aggregate, they actually made money for the very first time. So that was good news, but it's not enough, it seems, to float them green this morning as they're also gapping down. So other than that, I think everything else on my list was red. Let me just check here. Yeah. Oh, how about, this one seems to be green. This is a little odd. You can never trust CVS. CVS had earnings this morning as well. They were red when I was looking at them earlier. It looks like they've moved to green here. Just gone above the previous day close line. They've gone the other way. They actually did not have a good quarter, so I'm not sure why they were green. CVS is a mystery as to how it moves. Now, see on my chart here, see this little N? This means it's a NYSE stock. It trades on the New York Stock Exchange. Whoops. Let me actually show you the chart again. Here we go. Here we go. So the N right here that I was trying to show you, right here. That means it trades on the New York Stock Exchange. And that means that it's going to be managed by the market makers on the New York Stock Exchange, and it tends to do different things as a result, or at least it doesn't trade the same way that something that trades on the NASDAQ, which would have a Q in that same position, trades. So CVS missed their revenue but beat on earnings, so mixed picture. But the key thing here is they cut their guidance again. For the third time this year, they've reduced their guidance. And I'm not sure why CVS is gapping up at this moment, frankly, because to cut your guidance 3 times in a year, that should be a warning sign if ever there was one, I would think. But here they are. Let's see what they're doing on a daily chart. Yeah, they've been actually chopping in a range here. A lot of reductions. See the massive gap that they had back earlier this year, last quarterly earnings, and then they've been trading in this range, not been able to fill that gap. So I got to think they're going to head to the low end of the range. But again, it doesn't always work the way you expect, right? Those that have deep pockets may see other things in CVS and are willing to support it because of where it sits in their portfolio. So just be careful if you're trading this one. All right, let's go to the gap down list because there's a few things I want to talk to you about there. IMXI. Nothing I've ever heard of in my life. International Money Express. How the heck did this make our list? I only see 1,900 shares traded. This has got to be a data error. I'm just moving on. Let's go to Lyft. Lyft is more interesting to talk about. Lyft has 3.5 million shares traded, and it is gapping down almost 14% here. You can see the big drop earlier this morning after the earnings were announced. Yesterday it was all about Uber. Uber gave their earnings. Today it's Lyft's turn, and Lyft did not have a good quarter. They missed their numbers, top and bottom line, did not deliver the results that the analysts were expecting, and they actually lowered their guidance, citing weaker volumes, weaker what am I trying to say? Journeys, trips by people. Now, I don't know. I've been trying to do my part, but apparently it's not enough. And Lyft, and we'll talk about Airbnb in a minute, they're both down, sliding lighter travel volume, which is not what we were hearing from the airlines. Remember earlier, airlines said that travel volume was continued to be high. Apparently that's not translating on the ground. So Airbnb and Lyft are both citing lower anticipated volumes and lowering their guidance as a result. So Lyft is probably going to be in play. Another one that I'm going to keep an eye on, I think, through the open. All right. Another one that has earnings or had earnings, SMCI. These are basically all earnings, the next 4 or 5 on this. SMCI, high-flying semiconductor stock. If you guys remember, it was up. I mean, well, look at the daily here, right? There was all excitement when it here skyrocketed up to here, sorry, let me get to a daily, up to $1,200, right? It's fallen down to $500 from that, but they've been taking the opportunity to make some changes, and they're actually announced they're going to deliver a 10-for-1 split. Now, that's not what's moving it today exactly. What's moving it today is the fact that they had earnings last night after the close. Mixed picture. They beat on revenue, but they missed bottom line. So more mixed pictures here in the semiconductor space, right? We've had Intel with really bad reports, Nvidia with pretty good reports, AMD also with relatively good numbers. So it seems like it's a little bit of a mixed picture going on the semiconductor space. So, sorry guys, you keep getting me mug instead of the charts. I'll just keep it on the charts.
We'll fix it.
So SMCI is gapping down on earnings. I think this is going to be in play today. Frankly, like I shared with you openly in my relationships, I still think I'm going to be sticking with Nvidia and probably AMD before I would watch SMCI, to be honest. But SMCI, if you like it, it's out there. Again, 10-for-1 split, not happening till October. October the 1st is when that is expected to take effect, which means at current prices, this stock will drop to a $50 stock, which is probably a little lower than ideally they'd want to be priced. But for whatever reason, that's the decision they've made. So Cody, you know what? There's no secrets here. I share everything with you guys. All right. What else? Airbnb. I mentioned them just a second ago. We'll switch to Airbnb. They had earnings after the close yesterday. You can see the big drop. Pretty massive drop, actually, off earnings. They are down 13%. They missed their numbers, lowered their guidance. They've been struggling the last few quarters. This quarter is no different, as they are down quite significantly again on lowered guidance, citing less room nights being booked. They've also had trouble with their inventory. They say since April of 2023, so April of last year, they've had to remove more than 200,000 listings globally, which probably, I don't know what that is as a percentage of their total listings, but because they, in their words, did not meet consumer expectations, which I translate to they were either scams or just false listings altogether, or they were like slums that were misrepresented. Unfortunately, I know a few people have been taking advantage of that. I haven't, although I am going to be staying in an Airbnb in Nashville. I got my fingers and toes crossed that's going to work out well because I'm bringing my family there. So, but anyways, Airbnb, another one that's going to be in play. So another potential good target. Rivian is one more that I want to move to, and I'm going to move a little faster because, as always, I'd like to talk a lot. This is why I need Carlos. Keeps me in check. Rivian had earnings after the close yesterday. We can see they're gapping down about 10% on 1.6 million shares of volume. Another mixed picture, right? In this case, they missed revenue but beat earnings. So they stated what they said. I'll put this in air quotes: modest growth profit in Q4, which means that their expectation is for the first time their gross profit, keep in mind that's not bottom line, that's gross profit, they're actually expecting to make some money in Q4. They're probably still going to lose money overall, but at least on the gross profit basis, they're going to make money by the end of this year. So we'll see if Rivian can live up to that promise, because they have not made money so far. What else is on this list that I haven't talked about? Disney. Here, how about the last one here, Disney, and then I'll go to what you guys want. I know I've missed a couple in here, but Disney had earnings this morning, actually, and I think I already talked about them. Never mind. See, I'm lost. I don't even know what I'm talking about. All right, there you go. That's what I've got. Let's take a look. Is there any? I skipped over some. I'm trying to keep an eye on the time here. Anything you guys desperately want me to take a look at, either on YouTube or in the chat room, let me know. Thanks, guys. Look at that. People donating money on. Oh, that's so nice. Well, Andrew always matches any YouTube donations. It all goes to charity. So fantastic for you doing that. Thank you so much. You don't have to do that, but I appreciate that. That's $69.99. Lovely. That is pretty awesome. You guys are awesome, man. This is why we have such a great community here. You guys are fantastic. I love it. All right. Thank you so much. Anything you want me to watch? TSM. What is TSM doing? Anything interesting? Ooh, TSM is up a little bit, almost 1 million shares. I always, TSM is one that always gives me hope, and it always seems like ends up being like false hope. Because then the market's open, and then it just does not move well. Sort of like, SMCI it gives me false hope differently. SMCI always sort of, the price action looks good, but then I go and look at the spread, and the spread is so huge, it makes it hard to manage your risk to reward. So this is why I tend to stick to, like I keep telling you, like Nvidia and AMD, because the spread is tight, the price action is good, it usually moves well. I don't see any particular news on TSM. So they looks like they did have an analyst upgrade, so that's good, but I don't see anything else particular happening there. What else are you guys looking at? AFRM, good old Affirm. Not doing much this morning. Low volume. They are gapping up 7%, but only on 170 million shares. So that's pretty low. And Apple. Penny is mentioning Apple out there on YouTube. Let's take a look at Apple. I haven't spent a lot of time watching Apple, I have to admit, in the last week or so. I found the price action, sort of look what it looks like pre-market. It's been choppy like that and harder to trade for me. So I've stayed away from it. It has got good volume, 3.2 million shares this morning, but I'm not loving the price action. And Apple, also, I have to admit, their business confuses me, but just in that, I don't understand why they're still flying so high when they haven't done anything interesting in a while. But I keep saying that, and nobody cares. Apparently, they are in a $20 billion antitrust suit with Google. Yikes! How about that for two giant titans tussling in the courts? Uh, yeah, Google used illegal practices to maintain its dominant market position, and this could cost Apple a substantial income deal. Well, look at that. So Apple and Google pays Apple about $20 billion a year, of it 36% of its earnings by advertising through Safari. Look at this. In case you if you want conspiracy theories, you just need this type of headline to give you conspiracy theories about the big guys screwing us all over, right? Making money. 20 billion, yeah. What's 20 billion for these guys, right? That's like they find that in the cushions of the sofa. All right, anyways, but yeah, if you like Apple, by all means, I don't love the way it trades. All right, guys, I'm going to have to move on. Last one I see here mentioned by Charlie on YouTube is Tesla. I do like Tesla just because it moves a little bit better. Only 1.5 million shares, which is actually relatively low for Tesla. Doesn't look like it's doing much. It's only up about 0.5%. We've got a little bit of not really some good price action. I mean, it's at least it's moving consistently, but it's not moving directionally. So I'd look at some of the earnings myself because I think some of the earnings are better, right? Whether we want to watch Upstart or Shopify, Disney, even Airbnb, there's a bunch of those that we can take a look at. So personally, I would lean towards them over Tesla, at least at this time. All right, I'm going to go to what's happening in the community. Bear Bull Trading community, we have stuff happening pretty much every day of the week. It is Wednesday today, so it's midweek, and that means that we are going to be talking psychology. If there's one area that you should focus on when you're trading, it's your own personal psychology. It's probably the least fun thing to focus on. I will grant you, right? There's no arguing that in my mind, but there's no more essential skill than your mental fitness and your mental psychology. It is not you versus the markets when you trade. That may be what it feels like. It's really you versus yourself. It's about managing yourself and your discipline. And every Wednesday, we focus in on that. Tonight, Dr. Kenneth Reed is going to be with us talking about the dopamine trance. And it's going to be a great session. His sessions are always good. He loves questions. It's a great place to interact. So if you're an elite member, jump in there. Join Dr. Reed and talk about that and how you can sort of get stuck in what does that mean? What is that dopamine trance? Well, how your sort of own chemical balance can work against you when you're trading, especially when things get hot and heavy like they do in the opening 30 to 60 minutes. So he's going to talk about how you can sort of manage that, what it looks like, what it feels like, and then what to do about it. All that starts at 8 p.m. tonight in the webinar room. And then next week, Michael is going to be with us. Mike Bear is going to be talking about how to manage your psychology through a solid process. Frankly, your discipline and maturity are hand in glove with your trading psychology and how well you do over time. So it's a good thing to focus on. That'll be next Wednesday, August the 14th, once again at 8 p.m. So those are the psychology webinars we've got this and next week, and hopefully you'll join us for those. If you love the markets, then you should love tradingterminal.com. It's a place to go to get all the information on the markets. Go there, love it, use it, just like I've been using it all morning. It's what we need. I'm watching Brent change browsers. It's all good. Anyways, check out Trading Terminal. It'll be a place to go. And I'm already going to move on. If you want to join us here at the Bear Bull Trading community, we would love to have you because we have got a number of membership options for you that you can take advantage of. Whether you just want to join, if you're out on YouTube, first off, give us a thumbs up. Join the channel, right? Subscribe to the channel. We would love to have you a subscriber. That way you can get updated. Andrew posts his updates when he trades every morning. That's important. We do the live trading. You can sort of see how it works. And then if you want to join, $1. That's all it costs you. $1. The intro offer is normally $39, but we got a $1 deal. $1 deal. go to bearbulltraders.com/YouTube and you can get that $1 deal and join us. Just kick the tires, see how it works. We only charge the buck. It keeps the spammers and the bots away. It's a great deal. So hopefully you'll take advantage of that. And then if you want to join us, you can maybe just try with the basic monthly package or the elite. The elite gives you access to everything. The best deal, of course, is the elite annual, and it's always available there. So hopefully you'll check those out. Oh my goodness. Wait, I need a drink of water. All right, thanks for that. I needed a water break. Too much talking. It's sort of my life here in the morning. All right, let's try and set some levels on things. I'm going to go through some of the earnings plays, and we'll set some levels. So let me get my charts here. And I'll show you what I'm looking for on the levels. And I had to cough. All right, coming back. All right, so let's go through some of these that were moving this morning. People seem to like SMCI. I don't love trading it, but I'm going to use daily charts here to set the levels. And what I'm looking for is areas in which the stock either had previous resistance or support. Resistance is normally on the way up. Picture it like hitting a ceiling, right? It can't get above that area. It's resisting going higher. Support where it doesn't go lower. It seems like almost bounce off the floor. It's getting supported at that level. And that's what we're looking for often on the daily levels, so that we know where the stock is likely, maybe not stop and reverse, but at least hesitate and pause, so you can sort of incorporate that into your trading, know what areas to look for, and it might help you with your trading to understand, do I enter a trade? If you're approaching a ceiling, for example, you may want to think twice about going long right below that, because the price may stop or at least pause for a while there. If it breaks through, then that ceiling often becomes a level of support once you get above it. Picture a multi-story building, right? Once you get above the floor, then, above the ceiling, you're on the floor of the next one. So it can help you move higher. That's how I always think of it. So if I look at SMCI, we are sitting here at a current price of $530. We're at the low end of this scale. And frankly, there's not a lot of levels of support or resistance here, right? The price moved rapidly through this back at the beginning of this year. And if I have to go to like a weekly chart, and let's see, do we have anything? I think not, right? Because this is SMCI has sort of only been playing in this stratosphere, for the last like 8 months or so. So yeah, we got nothing. So this is not a great area to set levels. I've got the highs and lows of the previous 2 days, which are setting some bracketed ranges for me. Other than that, frankly, I don't have a lot of levels. So I can't predict where the price is going to go, but without that support, I would say the next area that might give it support is way down here at 300. I mean, I don't think we're getting to 300 today. That would be ridiculous. But I mean, anything's possible, but not necessarily probable. So I don't have a lot of levels to set for you there. Rivian was on our list. Let's take a look at Rivian. Go back to a daily chart here. Now, Rivian is in a more interesting spot here at its current price. So you can see here, it got some, it potentially had some support right down here at the low of this day on June the 28th, where the low was $13.21. So I'm going to set a level right there so that I can keep an eye on it. Whoops, how about that level? That's better. And we're going to make sure this is right at $13.21. Perfect. So I can keep an eye on that. And if we drop, well, the area we're likely to drop to is probably somewhere around here, because we have this gap, right, that we're filling. So probably around $12 is where it would drop if it really starts to move lower. If it goes higher, well, again, the highs and lows, the highs pretty much of the previous 2 days are going to be indicators for me. So that's what I'd be looking for on Rivian. Airbnb, also another one. I'm not going to have a chance to go through all of these, so we'll just do a couple of them. Airbnb really gapping down this morning. Hey, look how low we are. We're below all this price range. If we move higher, I'm thinking we're going to see some resistance around 114. Again, why? Well, back here in November of last year, right, we can see how many times it bounced off this level. What used to be support now may become resistance. Notice the high of the pre-market here is 114.50. So that tells me that that's definitely an area to watch as we're trading at 112.50 roughly right now. So if we go lower, well, where are we likely to go to? Down over here. Let's just go back, zoom in on this part of the chart. I think that we're going to get potentially some support down here, 108.60. You can see I've already got a level there. I think that's where we hit pre-market, and it's probably not a coincidence. Notice the pre-market low, how it coincides with these low areas of support back in February of 2023, in April of 2023, and sort of cuts through the middle of this area we were in May and June of last year. So I think that low of pre-market is already a place to watch. And if we go lower, I'm going to watch 104.50, an area that it bounced off of back again May and June of last year. So that's Airbnb for me. Next, Upstart. Since we were looking at that earlier, had earnings and is moving. Upstart gapping up quite significantly today. And I got to go back to the end of my chart. Gapping up. Now, this one is great because we've got some real levels to pay attention to, right? See how we had a gap back here in February, right? Dropped, and through this gap, the price is sitting right at the edge of that gap, which means we've got some room to play in there, and we have been there before. We've been there in May. We were there in mid-July. So I think we've got to sort of watch this area. I would watch $32 at the top end of this area here. I noticed the high of pre-market is 30.33, which cuts right in the middle of that gap zone. So I think that you've got some areas to watch. I would watch that high of pre-market as well as this $32 range. Those are probably the top end ranges that I would look at, because it's unlikely to move higher than that, at least at the initial. If it does go higher, well, then you can start looking at levels like, cutting through here where we had resistance before around 35, but that feels like it'd be a big move. Possible, but I'm not sure that we'll do that this morning. All right, so that's Upstart to the top side. Downside, by the way, downside $25. Clearly, there was an area of support here. We blew through that right this morning. If it does drop, that'll certainly be an area of support. I think we'd get earlier support, probably around 27. It's not as good just because not as many things coincide there, but it feels likely that we would get support for Upstart probably at that level. What else are we looking at? Shopify. Another earnings play, Shopify gapping up here. $64 is the current price. Wow, I've already got some levels set. Notice I was on the daily previously. I've got 65.50 and 67 already set. So those are good for the top side. Downside, well, we can look again, I already previously marked on my chart, $58. I still like it because the daily chart showed support for it at that level. So I've already got it bracketed. Didn't even have to draw anything. That's good when you know that you still agree with the levels you'd previously set. I already see Andrew joining us. We're at the time where we need to let him and Brian get ready for the open. Last thing we'll do this morning, we'll just talk about what our other moderators are watching this morning. And they're looking at, some of the stuff we've already talked about. Lenny was in first, watching quite a number of things, actually. Amazon, Nvidia, Airbnb, Shopify, Upstart, Lyft, Rivian, and Disney. A lot of those you notice, all the ones that we were talking about. So I think Lenny was listening to us this morning and just said, I'm going to put it all on my list. Uh-oh, there's my alarm. Let me get it. That's my alarm telling me we got 5 minutes to the opening bell. So Mike is watching Apple and AMD. Avi is watching Nvidia, Tesla, and AMD. Thor is watching his usual suspects, Tesla, AMD, and then the futures. Brian is watching Airbnb, AMD, Nvidia, Tesla, and Google. Pierre is watching Nvidia, AMD, Tesla, and Apple. I haven't had a chance to look at the IPOs. I think we've got one today. I'll have to look at that up later and put it for our members in the chat room. Andrew is watching Microsoft, Nvidia, AMD, and TSM, and he's noting that Airbnb is in play, but doesn't think he's likely to trade it. And Paris is back with us. Everybody loved having Paris back in the room yesterday, and he's watching Airbnb, Upstart, Disney, Shopify, and Apple. All right, guys, with that, we got 4 minutes to the open. I'm tired. I'm going to pass this off to Andrew and Brian, and they're going to take you through the open. Thank you so much for putting up with me. I hope Carlos dries everything out and is doing okay there at home, and his family is safe and warm and dry. But we'll talk to all of you later. Brian, Andrew, good morning. How are you both?
Hey, good morning, everybody. Doing just moving my watch list around a little bit here. Shop looks kind of interesting, which I believe had earnings today.
Yeah, there's a lot on earnings that look interesting to me. So yeah.
Amazon's moving up nicely. Nvidia seems to be on the verge of breaking out here. I'm not liking Tesla. Tesla's kind of looks like it's heading for a choppy day, but we'll see. Yeah, Airbnb, wow, just not a great earnings report last
No.
night. Took a big hit. Yeah, I don't like the price on Lyft. I mean, it's it's a $9 stock. I mean, it could be a rising devil. I mean, how? Let's see here. I just I guess it could get to eights, down to eights. There are some levels here at 8.
Oh, sharp. Good morning, Brian.
Yeah, good morning. It is looking kind of interesting. AMD is ripping. Amazon is
Hell
ripping
yeah.
right now.
Yeah, I have still some Nvidia from yesterday. I just hold it only 900 shares. That
Yeah,
is
I have-
good.
I have
What
some,
happened? What's this market gap up again? Is it China? Is it Asia supplies?
I think part of the problem has been this Japanese carry trade, which people have been unwinding. And I think some Japanese ministers said they weren't going to be raising the rates till things settle down. So maybe it'll slow the basically what people do is they borrow in yen, which is almost zero interest rates, and then they invest and then they have to convert to U.S. dollars, and then they invest in treasuries, which makes 5%. So the issue, of course, is the exchange rate. So people are unwinding this trade. So I think that's been part of the sell-off. So we shall see what. And plus, we had some pretty good earnings from Shop. Meta. I've got some Meta from yesterday. I've got some Nvidia from yesterday. Still holding some TNA from yesterday.
Still have some TNA too. I sold most of it, but I still have
Yeah.
some. What a great opportunity to buy, man. What a great buying opportunity it was.
Here we go. Ding, ding, ding.
Ding, ding, ding in the YouTube. Everybody getting ready.
Let's get ready
Right,
to
let's see
rock.
where the volume is, guys. Let's see where the hell is volume first. Nvidia is nice, but it's popping up a little bit too much in the pre-market.
Watching.
Guys, make sure you like on YouTube to be in the laptop draw. Most of you are not going to be in the laptop draw, unfortunately, because you haven't liked it. Yeah. So we have some TNA.
Just got long. I'm long AMD. I'm long AMD at 134.30.
Nice. One long AMD. Super strong. Nvidia is also super strong. Problem with Nvidia is just way too far from VWAP. Apple is hitting the scanner.
Come on, AMD,
Don't be like that.
Don't be like that. Yeah.
AMD might be angry today because Peter's opened up the relationship.
Yeah.
Tesla is popping up.
Tesla is popping up.
Tesla. I'm going to go long Tesla, 2160. Tesla hit the scanner too. Long to Tesla, 2160. 201, actually 78 I got filled. Let's go to 203. That's a very nice pop, guys.
I'm long.
I
I'm
have a
long
lot of
shop.
shares. Let's
I'm
go.
long shop as well.
Let's go Tesla. Let's add a little bit more on Tesla. 203. My average is now 201.80. I have a lot of share size. Let's go to R4. Let's go to
Selling
R4.
some shop here at 66. Oh yeah, here we go, shop baby.
Tesla, go up. No, don't come down. Go up. Ah, shit, I should have pushed it.
I'm out of AMD. I don't like the way it's trading. Here we go. Look at shop is really nice here. I'm going to sell some more. 66.70.
Guys, I got greedy on Tesla. I think I got to get out of it because, yeah, I'm getting out of Tesla. Yeah, what a great trade it was. I got greedy on it. I did, instead of adding, I should have partial. I might actually get back in there. Let's see what's going to happen.
Here we go. 67 on
Tesla, guys. Let me get back on Tesla. Let's see if this time wants to pop.
67 on shop. Just selling some more.
Nvidia is coming down. Let's see if Tesla can go for the breakup high of the day. You're really rejecting this 203, huh? Tesla break of 203 or 4 is that above that? Yes. So now I started partialing on Tesla. Let's make the losses back. Eamon, you also took the Tesla long? Very nice. Where did you catch that? It's kind of beefy Tesla today, huh? Shop is hitting that. It's so shit, Brian. Shop is Shop is going up to Shopify. Are you there?
Baby, I'm long. I'm long. Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah.
Yeah, Shopify is the earning. Shop is earning. Tesla is kind of super garbage. I can get out of it. That'd be nice.
Yeah, I got in at 65.30.
Damn, that's a good entry.
Yeah, it just was basically an opening range breakout.
Hell yeah. So I have some Tesla. Let's see if this Tesla. Yeah, it looks like a super garbage day for Tesla. So what we're going to do is we're going to probably get stopped out here. Let's give Tesla one more chance. You got to give people one more chance. Hell yeah. See, it works. It sold out. So now I'm
coming back for Tesla.
Nvidia is coming off. Let's give Nvidia a long position, 107.60. I had some position from Nvidia, but now my average is 107.17. I'm gonna give one more chance to Tesla to show itself. Hell yeah, look at Nvidia, guys. Look at Nvidia. I'm partialing on Nvidia 108.
Bounce back.
Big size on it.
Just watching shop here. It seems to be struggling here. 66.
I am long Tesla and Nvidia both. Nvidia is coming down now. Average on Nvidia is 107. The reason for that is I had a little bit from yesterday. Tesla popped up very nicely. Partialing some Tesla here. 203.47. SPY is hitting new highs. That is super nice.
Yeah, Qs are breaking out. Yeah. Just watching shop. Just staying with shop here.
Holy yeah. Look at the Apple, guys. Apple's taking the whole market up. Yes, Nvidia is gonna go there too, huh? A little bit more on Nvidia here at 108. Let's see if Nvidia wants to go another pop. Now I have a bigger position on Nvidia. Guys, you can see my entries and exits in the chat room for those of you who are on YouTube.
Okay, let's see if shop is going to bounce here. It's kind of struggling. There are some orders up at 67 again. Here we go.
Shopify is bouncing back.
Bouncing back up. Yep.
Actually added more Nvidia, as I mentioned. Tesla chickened out today. Tesla.
I didn't like Tesla right from the get-go, from the pre-market.
Eamon got a really nice entry on it. Disappointed at Tesla today.
Back at the open. Yeah.
I'm getting out of Tesla slowly. I'm all out of it, actually.
Okay, I'm getting out of shop. I'm out of shop. I don't like the way it's moving here. It looks like it's going to sell off. I'm done shopping. I'm done shopping. I would have been almost tempted to short it.
Tesla also. True.
AMD looks like it's going to try to break out.
AMD's going to go break up 135. I was thinking of it. There you go. AMD at 135. That was a very nice pump. I saw it, but it was a little too late, so I would have jumped in.
Yeah. I jumped in on that one just as it broke out there, just because I was slightly red on it. So now I'm selling 135.
All right, so Nvidia is coming down.
I can sell some more, 135.20. Oh, hell yeah. Hell yeah.
I converted to the hell yeah, huh? This hell yeah has been in my mouth for the last 2 weeks. I keep saying hell yeah. I don't know where to pick it up. Hell yeah.
Hell yeah. Hell yeah.
That's a good approach in life. Hell yeah.
Oh, look at AMD. Diddly doodly. Here we go.
AMD is amazing.
Yeah.
That to be super nice. Hopefully Nvidia. AMD.
David.
Peter's open relationship. That was funny. Did you hear that? Peter said.
What's that?
So funny about their open relationship that he had with AMD. It was so funny. Said I have a
Does his
confession
wife?
to make. It was emotional.
I guess. Yeah. I
Uh,
guess that means his wife knows.
I'll tell you the story. Let's see what happens on NVIDIA. Let's focus on this because I have 8,000 shares of NVIDIA.
Yeah, exactly.
Let's see if it can
Diddly
go higher,
doodly.
but it's in YouTube. It's so funny. You can actually go watch it.
Well, I'm gonna have to get out at AMD. Back at my break even on the rest. Yeah, it seems like the market. We had that little spike, and now we're pulling back. Just gonna sell some of my swing the trade I had on Meta. Yes, let's see what AMD is gonna do here. Looks like it's gonna drop down to the VWAP.
It's problem. The bigger question is what's the NVIDIA is going to do?
Seems like Nvidia is kind of stuck right now. Oh, look at Thor's short. I know exactly what trade Thor did on this on Tesla. He took it short at
Shorting that
R3.
R4, yeah. That's what he does. Of
Yeah.
course he did. Yes, that is
Yeah.
great.
At R4. Thor's the man.
So I'm losing my patience with NVIDIA.
Oh, Shop is starting to break out again. Oh, the Qs went back to the VWAP. Still got an order at 67 on Shop.
You know, this microdosing that I did hit me really bad. It turned out to be not a microdose. It turned out to be a dose. Shit, really,
A full dose?
everything's it turned out to be a full dose. Everything is now psychedelic. SMCI. Let's see. Yeah, SMCI is down 13%. Why?
I think there was some comments about some problems they had with, I guess their basically bottom line is they disappointed on earnings.
Oh, there was the earning trade on it, huh?
Yeah. And they're doing, they're going to do a 10-for-1 split. I think it's going to
Nice. That
happen
was
here.
nice because they make it $50 a stock. Then we can actually do a risk trading on it.
I mean, they've been, what was it? Their stock is down like massive, even before earnings. I mean, this was trading at $1,200 in March, and now it's trading at $530.
500. It's volatility, man. It's
Unbelievable.
volatility. It's unprecedented. All right, guys. So let's see NVIDIA is going to go up or not. Never traded this high, actually. This is the first time that I'm actually this high from mushroom. So AMD chickened out.
Yeah.
Going down. Nvidia is holding.
Shop
Is it a
is,
short? Somebody's asking in the chat room. Is it a short? I don't. No, I'm not really shorting it right now. It's up 3% above the VWAP. If it's become too extended above the VWAP, it could be a short. But right now, especially now, it's holding VWAP for like 10 minutes. It's kind of not a great long either. So
no,
gotta
it's
kind
kind
of
of
eye me
choppy.
there.
It's
The
basically
market
just throwing a bunch of wicks on its candle. So yeah, just look at Nvidia. Nvidia's trying to figure out which direction to go to. Nvidia's making kind of like a pennant on a 2-minute chart.
Yeah, that could be a moment of truth. Yeah, Rocky, that's exactly the situation right now in my brain.
So right now, Thor is looking for. Sorry about that. No idea who that is at this hour. So Thor is looking for.
Oh, Nvidia is going up. Is it really going up, or it's my
Yeah,
psychedelic mushroom? Is it
it
actually
is going up.
108? Confirm. Then
Yeah,
I
it's back
partial.
at. Yeah, it's back at
Yes.
high of day.
There you go. So
Yeah.
yes, I'm partialing now. I know this is not actually different from.
Yeah. Cues are breaking out. Spies breaking out. Ooh, Tesla's at R3, and it's looking like it might break there.
FTNT. Let's see what FTNT is doing. Fortinet. I have actually some friends working at Fortinet. My ex-girlfriend, she works in Fortinet. I should call her. 23% off. Nice.
What is it? Fortinet?
Fortinet, yeah. She's a manager at Fortinet, so she has a lot of shares. I should reconsider my relationship with her actually now. The earning on Fortinet. Was the earning on Fortinet? Oh fuck! Look at that. I must be earning. So Nvidia is going up.
Yeah, Nvidia is breaking out here. By the looks of it.
Are shutting out more.
AMD is going up.
Oh.
Shop is not trading very well.
Yeah, that 5 minutes was so high. It kind of came down now, but it just boom. Like my brain was.
Thor.
You know, Thor actually used to do mushrooms too. He grew up in a farm, so he was going picking up these magic mushrooms and.
Yeah. He's a mushroom guy.
He's a mushroom guy. So
Shop is kind of really all over the map right now. I don't know what's going on with it. It's dropping a buck.
Is it a normal pullback? Do you have AMD?
It's not.
AMD. Do you have any AMD?
No, I'm out.
You're high too, Brian. You seem high. I asked 3 times. What are you on?
I could,
I want to take what you are on.
but I'm
No, but are
drinking
you
my
on
mushroom
AMD?
tea. I'm drinking
Are
my
you on
mushroom tea
AMD?
now.
He's not going to answer. He's still way too high. Are you in AMD or not? This is the last time I'm
No,
asking.
no,
Good.
no, I am not.
Okay, let's get back into
At
character.
least,
No,
at
seriously.
least at least as far as I know. Let me check. No, I'm not an AMD.
Because AMD is a very
I,
nice price action now. It's a nice ABCD pattern, pullbacks.
it's
Yes.
right at yesterday's high right now, so I'm thinking it's probably going to stall here. It's, 67 is a real problem for shop. There seems to be a seller sitting there. See, look at that. AMD pulled right back from yesterday's high. Should I microdose today? Should I do some?
You know my opinion about mushroom microdosing. I think microdosing is amazing. Don't ask me. I'm the guy who does it. All right, so I think I'm kind of super. I want to keep it chill today. So I'm up 7 grand. Nvidia. I still have 5,000 shares of Nvidia. Considering the situation in my brain, I think I'm going to keep it cool. I'm getting trading for you high on mushroom, and you guys cannot trade on silver. I don't know what to really tell you. Like, what else do you want?
See here, I've got my Mojo. This is Brain Boost Energy. This is what's her name? Megan would love this. You got my Mojo.
We don't see you actually. So let me see. Actually, we can see you. We can see you on. We can see you on YouTube. What do you have? No. Sorry, I was going to say because I don't see your camera. You were in there. Oh, that's one of them.
It's Mojo. You can buy these. You can buy these. They're legal. There's nothing illegal about them.
All right, I'm gonna get out of. I'm gonna get out of Nvidia, guys. So I'm all out of it. This is breaking down. I didn't actually lose money on it. I did let go of past of my entry. So for those of you who are seeing my screen, but because I had it from yesterday, my average was somewhere around here, 106.75. Because I had some overnights Nvidia, so I usually don't let it pass my entry point. But in this case, just because my average was lower than what you see on the screen, so I let it.
But no, that's selling off now. Okay,
selling.
Thor. Time to rock, Thor. There's a big gap between R3 and S3 on Tesla. I don't know if you're going to get there. He's hodling. Look at that. Jared shorted Nvidia. He's trading against you.
Jared is a really good trader. I'm actually converting to Jaredism. He's a really good trader. I should take more seriously. Seriously,
you'll get to observe him in his natural habitat.
We're going to go and worship him for 2 days. He knows his shit. I really convinced myself that he knows his stuff.
Yeah, that was a nice,
Johnson,
nice
no,
double
you
top.
won't be able to understand you anymore. That's funny.
Yeah, nice double top on Nvidia. Just couldn't push. Push it to high of day. Rejected it. Knowing Jared, that was some level that where buyers were stuck and waiting to get out. Actually, that was pretty close to yesterday's the post-market high. AMD breaking down as well. It's lost the VWAP. Should be short that now. It's too late to get into it for a short. AMD might bounce here. Tesla, what does Tesla look like? Tesla's got a big order at 198. Oh, it should be that zero is nice trade on Nvidia, $1,800. Rock on. Yes, sir. Oh, Jared's looking for PDC on Nvidia. Tesla does not want to drop through that R3 level, Thor. Just keeps holding around 198.
Apple is going really well. Apple is a very nice trade on Apple. Beautiful red to green move.
Yeah, look at Apple go.
Love this.
It's breaking out.
Warren Buffett.
Yeah, don't jump in here, guys, because it's this is an area where there's been some resistance in the last 2 days.
Buffett sold half of his Apple position.
Yeah. Peter's going to Nashville. We should have a meetup in Nashville.
Nashville, Tennessee?
Yeah. It's supposedly a nice place to visit. Meet up in Kamloops. Yeah. Oh, there goes the Qs. We're breaking out again. R6 now. Same with the SPY.
Yeah.
We're breaking out on the
Beautiful
SPY.
Apple. I have a serious FOMO not being in the Apple. It did hit even the scanner.
Yeah. It's really extended. I can't really, I guess it's filling a gap here too. This sort of 216 area would be a gap fill. 215. Let's take a look at Apple's level 2 on Bookmap. Let's see here. Big order at 213, not surprising. Whole number.
Who's coming to New Orleans? Let's plan something for New Orleans. What should we do in New Orleans? Is there any really cool thing to do? I know it's a cool city.
Yeah, you can eat lots of Cajun food. You can walk down Fremont Street. There's lots of bars.
Let's go to Piano Bar.
Bourbon Street. Not Fremont, Bourbon. Yeah, I'm thinking LA. Yeah. We can go in and we can do croquis.
Do that. Uber is also
The French.
picking up.
Yeah, lots of music. There's lots of jazz.
Airbnb is going down.
Yeah, nice pullback on Apple. God, I was going to short that too. Thought about it. Tesla's
What a
struggling at
wild ride.
190.
What a wild ride Airbnb has up and down. Like, look at this really huge cycle. This is crazy. The companies usually either go up or go down. This one is just crazy.
It's jumping off.
Yeah, since IPO. I don't know how they lose money. Like, how do you, this business model, how can you have no cost except a bunch of developers. Like, how do
Yeah.
you lose money? Like, you have no house, no property.
Yeah, you have no assets. You don't have to spend any money on assets.
They must be really mismanaging this company, honestly. Like, I'm no expert, but honestly, you could be really,
Yeah, I don't know what they spend their money on.
maybe some legal fees, maybe, but how bad it is. Like, Uber is also constantly doing, permission and legal fees and stuff, but they
Tesla
keep
looks like
charging
the one.
prices on Airbnb. They transfer all the costs into the customers.
Yeah,
Everything.
yeah. Well, that's what
Cleaning
everybody.
fee,
That's what
Airbnb fee.
everybody
Like, what
hates
the,
about it.
yeah.
That's about it. Everybody hates it. It's all the fees.
Who's the CEO? I don't think they got to change it. Ask Andrew Aziz, change this guy. I'm not using Airbnb anymore. I hate it actually because you look at it, the price is reasonable, and then you go there, bastards, with all of these fees and stuff. The hotels is better. You get at least room service.
Yeah, and at least you know what you're going to get too. Peter was talking about that at the Open. You kind of, if you go to a Hilton or a Four Seasons, you know you're going to get a decent room. I've used VRBO. It's not bad.
I'm actually getting long AMD. AMD is coming back up. Getting some long AMD. at 135.36. I'm going to add more on it. It's a nice pop from View app. AMD is funny because it didn't sell off as much as in the last 2 days. I thought that it's going to sell off way too much, but it actually held up pretty nicely. All right, so AMD, if it goes to 136, we all die a rich man together.
Hmm. Okay, I'm short Tesla. 199. See if it drops here. There's a big order at 198. Just small size, just because I feel like I need to take a trade. Amazon's selling off. Come on, Tesla. Yeah, Nvidia looks like it could be a short too.
What? Elon Musk found unresponsive? Is that what the... Is that fake news? Did you made it up or actually like that? All right, so AMD, I'm going to sell it at 136 and above. 136.50, I think that level. Should have traded AMD from the first place.
Got out of Tesla. Didn't want to sell off. Now it looks like it might reverse. So that's what happens when you get bored. You take trades you shouldn't. Oh, we're looking good on the crowd trade there, Jared.
What's the trade that you did on CrowdStrike?
Jared and I sold. We did a vertical put spread. So I can't remember what strikes Jared used, but I used. I used 215s. I sold 215s and then bought 205s.
So if you want a replay feature, use trading terminal. It's better than actually does play. I would say that, but does replay, they didn't invest on it. I tried to convince them to do that. They said it's not high in our priority, and they have a very simple one screen only replay. That's why one of the reasons that I started building a replay in trading terminal was that they didn't do it.
Tesla back at the VWAP. Qs and well, the Qs are at high of day, back at high of day.
Tesla is
Yeah,
climbing
AMD
back
just
up.
it can't get above yesterday's high. It's struggling there. Shop kind of got to got to high of day and rejected again.
It's going down. Damn it. Okay, I'm gonna get a stop down on it. Ah, what a bad trade. Look at that. Damn, I lost all the profit for today.
What were you trading?
AMD. I didn't see that one coming. Like popped up and then boom. Be down for the day. Google. Let's see what Google is doing. 2.4%. Now, Victor, I'm also in red now. Sorry, guys. I shouldn't have really traded that. Jared is short Nvidia. Yeah, sorry, guys. This trade brought me to red. Very bad red. Just walk away, dude. Just go back to
Yeah.
bed.
Yeah, we had a couple of good trades at the open. I'm just
Being on your hand.
trying to. I'm just going to keep it green here.
Right.
What's the plan with the art car now?
Are we gonna really talk about the art car here on YouTube Live? Let's do it at least after YouTube Live.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't want these guys.
Yeah, I'm not. I'm not trading anything right now. I'm just. I've had a decent day with Shop. Got back green with AMD. So I'm not. Unless something I really see I like. I mean, Nvidia does look like a short still, although it's hard to enter here because we're right at an area where there's been continued support right around this 105.70 level.
Bond is massively sold off yesterday.
105.60. Meta's starting to drop here. I heard. I was listening to some podcast about how Meta owns will own like 50% or more of the the back, as they call it, the backbone of the internet, all the wires that go to Africa, and Elon Musk right now, Starlink has 70% of all the um, satellites up there, and they're launching like 12,000 more.
U.S. government can nationalize it in a heartbeat. Like Wilson
But
did
I
it
don't think
with roads for
I don't
three
think
full
they
years.
I don't think they will. It's not Venezuela.
No, they did. Wilson did it for 3 full years in 1970 to 1920. They nationalized the railroad. Fuck yeah, it's for the U.S. government. He did it even after the war. It was like war ended in 1980, but he kept it for 2 more years.
They took it from J.P. Morgan.
I don't know who owned the whole national railway system of the U.S. They took it from all of them and eventually returned it to them. But
I think it was J.P. Morgan. I think he was the one who went around buying all the railroads. Yeah, here we go with Nvidia
yeah, let's see.
breaking down. Just rolled over, lost that level of support at 105.50. Meta's dropping too.
Yeah, no long, nothing. I am actually looking for another trade. Like Nvidia bounced from the previous staples might be. Now that it's
Yeah.
actually selling off this.
Yeah, Nvidia could bounce somewhere around here. I think 105 was Jared's target. There you go. You got your 105. See, there's the bounce. Apple bouncing off the VWAP. Look at that. eBay is showing up on the scanner. High of day. For our buddy John, look at this. It's breaking out.
So Andre, what you can do is you can actually use a funded account too instead of CMEG. That's one way of doing it if you have a small account. You can go through that $50,000 buying power and see how you do, because that's also leverage. Leverage is tricky. Like if you have a small account, leverage is super tricky. So go through that and see how you handle the things. And then you can open up an account with the high margin brokers. This is back from his long vacation. Shorted Nvidia right on the top. Very nice. Very nice. This is a super cool trade.
Yeah, Paris. Paris.
PLTR is popping up. Is that really true? Somebody just messaged, Katy Wood is selling a stock market course. Are you kidding me? I gotta show this actually too. If this is real, I gotta show you too. Oh, it's from her Instagram. I'm gonna send it. Brent, I'm gonna send it to you. You gotta show that. Katy Wood is selling a stock market course for retail traders.
She she was telling people that all their losses are a real asset because it'll be they can use them to offset future gains.
Level of look at that. You can see this in a screen. Show that Brent to YouTube too. You got to be kidding me. I'm back in AMD, guys. 135.45. She's selling a stock market course.
She has to
Level
make
of,
money somehow.
Yeah,
Next
that's
thing,
hilarious.
she's doing live YouTube day trading. Imagine. I swear to God, I can see that she's coming and doing YouTube live. She's pretty active on YouTube, anyways, but she's gonna do live trading. Wow, that is different level. I like that.
Yeah.
And then they make fun of it. They say we are dumb money. They say you're dumb money. This is your smart money. Okay, so I'm back in AMD, but I shouldn't be. Should be. Oh, actually, it might be fake. So you're right. I am not 100% sure.
Yeah, you
because
never
people
know.
have run ads on my name and stuff too. Like they run ads with my name and my videos, so people can do that. Yeah, but if this is real, that would be really funny.
You would think that they wouldn't use Katy Wood though.
Yeah, she's not very well. People don't know. I mean, most of the retail traders, they really don't know the performance of her fund. She was a superstar for 2 years. Like her fund was really going up, but it was just the bull market of the tech and stuff. Now,
it was
the
just
market
like you could buy anything. Upstart's really
we need to get us stopped up one more time on AMD. Oh, selling puts on UPST. Somebody in YouTube is doing that. Let's see what UPST is doing. Yeah, but the problem with selling puts on UPST, the problem is you don't get a lot of puts. You don't get much premium on this. You don't get a lot of premium on when the stock is gapping up like that. When it's gapping down, that's where the premiums are going up because everybody wants to buy the puts. Everybody looks for insurance. Probably you make some money, but It's not really worth it in these
Yeah.
situations. You can sell the calls if you want. That's tricky. Everybody wants to buy the calls now.
Like what strike are you going to use? I mean, it's gapped up so much. I mean, you could like low of day.
All right, so I accept another loss on AMD. I'm a stupid, idiotic person. I gotta stop that again on AMD, guys.
Yeah, AMD's really tanking now. The Qs are tanking. They're not tanking, but I mean they're at low of day and looking like they're heading lower. Same with the SPY. Nvidia is going to PDC here right now.
Yeah, I'm trying to see if I can catch a reversal on Nvidia at 104.
Probably going to be a bounce here, I would think. Around 104.50. I'll take that trade. 104.60. See if we can get back to 105. Not.
Nvidia completed a gap fill of Jared. Yeah, I'm telling you, Jared knows the stuff. We gotta convert to Jared.
We're converting to
levels.
Jared.
I'm looking for the king of levels to take a reversal on.
I'm selling some here at 104.75 just because not 100% sure we're going to bounce. So just want to account for slippage. If I have to get stopped out here.
No, Andrea, IB gives you only 1 to 3. I don't think US brokers are allowed to give more than 1 to 3. IB is safe.
Come on.
IB is super safe, yeah.
Come on,
CMEX is
Nvidia.
also safe.
Come on.
So what are you commenting for? What are you waiting for?
I'm long Nvidia at 104.60.
You didn't wait for the previous day close, no?
Well, I kind of got there already. I'm looking for an exit at 105 and maybe get there. Here we go. Come on. I'd sell some at 85. Feels like still pretty heavy with sellers. I'm out of the rest. 77. That wasn't much of a trade, but all right, guys, on YouTube, have a good rest of the day. Hope everyone had a profitable day. We had some good trades. Shop was a nice breakout on the open. And yeah.
Yeah, it was actually a tough day. It was not an easy day. It was not an easy day today. I'm actually down $47,000. thanks to Mr. AMD or Mrs. AMD. So guys, for the laptop, we didn't get to enough likes, so we'll try it again tomorrow. Yeah, we needed 500 likes at least, unfortunately, but we didn't get it. But tomorrow, so let's give it a try tomorrow.
All right.
Thanks, Brent. Yeah, appreciate that. So let's go back to
Thanks, everybody.
YouTube to chat room. Cheers, guys.
Yeah. Have a good one, everybody. We'll see you tomorrow. And don't forget, you can join us for $1 live in the room. Cheers, everyone.